Go ahead. We give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, spreading the good news of the gospel, teaching this truth throughout the earth, and who rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing the word to the four corners of the earth in all sincerity and risking their life to do so.
All right, shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, Wa Abba Babal. All right, and so we're going to actually get into the prophecies of Israel pretty much becoming the kingdom of heaven and this place, Babylon, collapsing, pretty much falling like lightning with its nuclear destruction, which will be the judgment of this place, this whore. All right, which Trump just showed you how America is a whore. All right, the European Union will have deals with America, and America will say you can't make deals with Russia and even sabotage deals with Russia for the European Union, but it's okay for them to go make a deal with Russia. See, so America is the whore that is prophesied in the Holy Scriptures that rides the beast. The beast is the European Union, and the teeth of that beast is NATO. All right, and you can look it up, Google it. EU is looking for a way to escape from America. And who are they going to join to? Russia. Who is Germany having a pipeline to? Russia, right? BRICS, they're in bed with China. All right? All these countries are together with Russia as prophesied in these last days. At the same time, you got the technology that you have, the implantable microchip, the mark of the beast, and also the nuclear missile, the great sword. So we're in the time of biblical prophecy. We're in the last days of this wicked society under the so-called white race, which is really the red devil the Bible speaks of. And they're going to come down with great wrath because they know it that they have but a short time. Why? Because they see us out here. They hear this truth coming out. And what did not a Jew say? He said, hey, he calls them lies, but it's the truth that's circling the earth 10 times over. Right? Because this truth is going out on the internet by all the different brothers, and they can't go against it because it's spiritual. It's not like we're out here with weapons of war, right? Trying to conquer them. We're more than conquerors. We are Yasharallah, the princes of power. We are the sons of Yahweh through Yahushai. Go ahead.
Khan, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 1. Behold, the Lord Yahweh maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof.
Right? Which the earth was put in possession under the wicked, which soon the wicked's judgment is the nuclear destruction. All right? So that's going to shake this earth, and pretty much the earth is going to have to start over again. And it's going to start over with the Israelites. All right? There's an elect group of men, and there's 1/3 that are going to be joined with them of the nation of Israel. The elect are the prophets, and then you got the rest of the Israelites, as it says in John 17, that they believed in the word which we preach, which is the word of Yahweh, and it speaks of Yahweh Shai. This is the image, all right, that is depicted in the scripture as the Messiah. The Christian church lies to you. All right, it's an institution of Esau and his lies. All right, this money is a religion also. You got to have belief in that money system, which it's failing. Just like this has no power, this is showing that it has no power. Because the Edomite, the so-called white race, is going to have to pay for what he's done to the Israelites and what he's planning on doing to us in these last days. All right? We're in a time with Jacob's trouble, and when they bring out that implantable microchip and make it mandatory for buying and selling, it's going to be, as they say, a great tribulation for the lack of bread. And for that great tribulation, all right, a lot of people are going to die, and then nuclear destruction. Even more people are going to die because it's going to shake the earth. Go ahead.
On. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 2, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priest as with the servant, so with his master as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyers, so with the sellers, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him.
Right. So this is going to affect everybody. All right. Even though there's different classes in society, it's going to affect everybody. Just like in the time of the Babylonian captivity, all the Israelites went into it. The northern kingdom first, then the southern kingdom. All right. And Isaiah, in his time, he was prophesying when both kingdoms were together in the kingdom of Israel. You had all the 12 tribes there. And he was prophesying about the Assyrian Babylonian captivity that they would have to go through, which the northern kingdom went first, right? And then the southern kingdom went in under the Syrian king Nebuchadnezzar. At the same time, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, they are prophesying of these captivities, and at the same time, they're prophesying about this Babylon. All right, because Esau had his hand in the time of our Babylonian captivity. See, so these Edomites haven't even paid for that. They didn't pay for burning down our first temple. They didn't pay for burning down our second temple under Titus, the 70 AD siege. All right, so they haven't paid for shit. They ain't paid for this. When did they pay for this? They haven't paid for this. So they have generations and generations of debt. Fuck the debt clock. They got blood to spill, and it's their own. See, their own blood is going to be spilled because they spilt the blood of the Israelite. All right, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 24, verse 3, the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord Yahweh had spoken this word.
Right, what's gonna do that? Fire. Fire is gonna literally burn up America and the land of Israel. Chariot fire in the valley of Jehoshaphat, America and the land of Israel. All right, the main judgment is America, which is Babylon the Great, who are to be destroyed, and Israel is going to be burnt up by the chariot fire that comes with Yahweh Shai and his, what you know as the so-called UFO. All right, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 24, verse 4, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languish and fadeth away.
Yeah, languisheth and fadeth away, which is fading away right now. People are dying on a mass level. Even though there's more people today than the ancient world, we're living in a valley of death, right? Every day, you don't know, you might be murdered out here. You might get robbed and it turned to a murder. They put it out in the news for other countries to be careful when they come to America because it's so violent here. They say, hey, you could be murdered here while you're vacationing, right? And I see even the Edomite Americans, they're on vacation going to a different state like New Jersey. And what's happening? They're flooding right now. So there's death all over right now. It's judgment time. Just like in the ancient time when the Lord had the prophets warning the Israelites of the judgment to come, the Babylonian captivity that both kingdoms was going to have to suffer. All right. There was also false prophets saying, no, don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. It's going to continue. Ain't nobody going to touch us. In fact, we'll get ready. We'll store up our food. We'll build up the walls. We'll get better weapons. We'll make alliances, right? That's what they were doing back then. And they weren't being obedient to the Lord. So the Lord had them get literally fucked up multiple times. The first time it was Nebuchadnezzar's men. The second time it was Nebuchadnezzar himself. And then you had a wave of Edomites that came through and finished everything off. Go ahead. And you had the other nations that were participating, right? Like Ephraim was in bed with Samaria. And that's why they went into captivity first. They were trying to fight Judah to try to set up a false idol and a heathen king. And then Judah was all fucked up, following after the idols and doing the way of the heathen. So the Lord sent them into captivity. Seeing that what's happening right now. They're all worshiping idols, whether it's a politician, whether it's a Caesar Borgia, whether it's a fucking lame dollar. All these people are running in worship of these false idols, just like back then. But
Or even that happened before when the flood was, you know?
yeah,
They were all celebrating and
doing as thou wilt.
going in marriage and, you know, partying and stuff. And the same thing is happening again.
He said it became violent. And that's what's happening right now. The earth is becoming violent, and it says in their mind was constantly wicked. You can Google it. Are people more into the Bible today than ever before? No, this is the most godless generation. Though the most Bibles are sold in this generation. So that's condemning to this generation. You have more Bibles, more access to the Bible. You got the prophets prophesying, and you still don't get it. See, so that condemns the world.
These and the prophets, they prophesizing about the gloom and the doom, and you know, you're not awake. You're just like asleep.
In witchcraft. That's what it is. You're in witchcraft. You're believing a lie so that you could ignore the truth. Right.
On Isaiah chapter 24, verse 4, in the middle of that paragraph, verse, world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
Which they altered back then what Jake was doing, right? Like in the time of the Greeks, when they were making sacrifices in the temple, when Antiochus came in, what did he do? He said, you got to sacrifice pig now, right? You worship this God now. You go to church on Sunday, right? You go you join the military. That's your religion, right? All these things are religions around us. It's just like back then. It's a bunch of false idols, and Jake was being caught up in it, just like now. In all these institutions, it's a religion that they say you pretty much got to make an oath to. Right? When you go to school, what do? Make you pledge allegiance. Right? When you go to court, you got to swear to that flag that you're telling the truth, which is an actual martial law flag with the yellow fringes around the American flag. That's maritime law. So you've been in martial law for years, but it's being activated right now in our life. Because that's one of the signs of being in the last days. Just like back then, or in 70 AD, right? Even with Nebuchadnezzar, but in 70 AD, Yahushua said, don't go back into your houses to get your coat, right? Just run to the mountains, which that's why they were in West Africa, because they were running to the mountains. Why? Because they seen these troops surrounding them, sieging the city. So that's why he said, don't run back into your house. When you see all these soldiers, just run away from there. And they ran into West Africa. And that's where they got picked up on slave ships, the Southern Kingdom. All right? They were picked up on slave ships from West Africa because they were running from the land of Israel from 70 AD when they destroyed our temple. In the time of Nebuchadnezzar, same thing. You know, some ran away, got away, but majority of them went into that captivity or remained in the city of Jerusalem. And that's the difference about this Babylon and that Babylon, right? Nebuchadnezzar, he left some Jake there, like Jeremiah. Esau, he wants to pretty much extinct us.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want us to exist no more. Go ahead.
On Isaiah chapter 24, verse 6, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
Right? Which is talking about that nuclear destruction. This time, in this Babylon, the Lord ain't going to bring us out and make us walk or try to catch a plane or get on a ship to go back to the land of Israel. The Lord's going to literally take us up, translate us, give us new bodies, and put us back into that land after he cleans it with fire. See? And this land is going to be melted. And it's going to cause the earth to shake like a drunkard. See? So even if you move to another country, if you're not of the elect to be saved, right? Which it says there's an innumerable number of Israelites throughout the whole earth that are eventually going to be preserved at the coming of Yahweh Shai, starting with the 144,000 elect prophets, which some are dead, which will come with Yahweh Shai, and the rest that are living will rise when he returns. But those are the ones that are going to be saved to start over. A few men left. Now the elite of these other races, they're going to be in bunkers. This is why they're building bunkers. Look it up. Billionaire bunkers. Mm-hmm. Jeff Bezos. The one from Facebook. Zuckerberg. Right? They're all building bunkers. Not in the mainland of America. The only one really got a mainland bunker is the president. The White House, which is fortified right now, that's a bunker. They told you there's tunnels under there. See? So they literally have this place honeycombed with tunnels and bunkers. And also outside of the world, because the elite know what's coming. All right? Go ahead.
Con. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 7, the new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh.
Right. Which the truth is the new wine, and the vine that languisheth are the Israelites. All right, go ahead.
The Isaiah 24, verse 8, the mirth of Tabreth ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the heart ceaseth.
It ceaseth. These concerts, there's many times these singers are getting sick. They got to cancel their concerts. I just heard of Lil Wayne. He had to literally cancel his tour because he said he came down with a strange illness. Right? A lot of these people are dying. These movie stars, these TikTok stars, these YouTubers, they're falling off cliffs. They're so-called committing suicides. Right? So all these leaders that you have to entertain you, you're losing it. So eventually you're going to lose it. You're losing everything. You're losing your freedom. You're losing your so-called rights. You're losing your entertainment. You're losing your comfort. You're losing your job. You're losing your grocery stores. You're losing your money, right? Soon you're going to lose your honey because guess what? These women are opportunistic, right? So we got to be prepared to lose it all, not gain it all right now, though we know we're going to inherit it all. Right now, we got to get ready to lose everything, even our lives, if it requires. But
I was going to say a little bit, and a lot of these women are going to be dying more than ever now because of their wicked ways.
Right. You can't even, if you were to, there's this movie of The Survivalist. I was telling the brother on the way over here, and the man allows these two women to come in. One was older and one was younger. And the older one manipulated the younger one to sleep with the man so they could weaken him. And they hurt him. They got him injured, and where he couldn't even fight to protect them eventually. And the end of the scene, they're roasting him like a fucking roast chicken, and they're gang raping her in the field. Right? So that's what's coming. A time like no other. The movie The Road, cannibalism. In Jerusalem, all right, you can read about it in Lamentations 4. The Israelites ate their children. All right, so that's what's going to happen in America. These people that are in America, these Israelite people that do not believe in the true Lord, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Yahweh is the Father, Yahweh Shai is the Son, our Savior. They're going to end up eating their own children. That's how bad it's going to get. Look what they did to Gaza. It's literally a famine, they said. There's no food. But there are better people than what's here in America because they didn't cannibalize yet. On a high level, they say here in America, days. Let the food stop for days. 1 day, 2 days. You'll have cannibalism kicking in that second day of starvation. You see, they're not going to work together like the Gaza people. They're going to kill each other and eat each other. Go ahead, John.
Isaiah chapter 24, verse 9, they shall not drink wine with a song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it.
Right? Which pretty much, they don't want the truth. This truth is sweet in your mouth and then bitter. They don't want this truth. They want that tell me a lie. Tell me a sweet lie. That's what America is full of, lies. And you have false prophets here that are going to lie to the people to tell them it's all good and everything's sweet. But the bitter truth of it is we're in the last days of this place, and this so-called white man, he's going to come down with great wrath knowing that he had a short time. And he's going to slaughter a lot of Israelites. All right? Go ahead.
On. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 10, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in.
Right. Boarded up like a hurricane came through. Why? Because you're going to have war in the streets of America. You got people like, what is his name? Full Spectrum Survival. He's talking about be sure to have boards assigned to board your windows up. When this shit goes down, you're going to want to board up your house. Why? Because they're going to break into your house for bread, for great tribulation. It tells you that in 2 Ezra 15 and in Zechariah 14, right? That they're going to come in and destroy your house and ravage your goods and your family, right? But them that war against the Israelites of the elect, they're pretty much going to die in a consuming fire. All right, the Lord's going to even give us the power to breathe fire on our enemies. It tells you that in Revelation 11. But eventually, nuclear destruction is going to take place here in America. Go ahead.
On. Isaiah chapter...
I'm sorry. The city of confusion is America. It's called City of Confusion, Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
But you're able to do whatever the fuck you want in this place. Worship whoever you want. Right? And it said shut up, meaning, once again, it's in war. Go ahead.
On. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 11, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone.
Which there is. I've got an increase of visits to my channel, which we know that Esau alters the numbers. We're not really seeing what's going on, right? But there's an uptick of just views. Not subscriptions or nothing, which we don't worry about all that. But we know that people are looking for information. But the ones that are not ordained of the Israelites to find this truth, they're going to ignore it and be destroyed in their ignorance, in their unfaithfulness. All right? But the ones that are ordained to come into this truth and be saved with the elect, they're going to hear it and they're going to understand and they're going to cleave to the house of Jacob. In their lot, whether it's male or female, there's a job to do. All right, in these last days, you're not just supposed to be idle. You're supposed to be, if you ain't prophesying, say you're not a prophet, you're supposed to help the prophets. And if you're a woman, you're supposed to be joined to a prophet as a wife. And if you are already married, you're to serve your husband faithfully till the Lord returns. Praying for the church, the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, so that we could do this work, right? That we're not stumbled, which we're not, we won't be, but we all got a part to play in this body, all right? The men are supposed to prophesy, all right? And once again, if you're not a prophet, support the prophets. It tells you that in the scriptures. It says, cleave to the body like a scab. You see? There you go. Go ahead.
Come on. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 12. In the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. When thus it shall...
Why is the leadership of America getting ready for war? because this is what's going to happen. All right, and it says, and the gate is your leadership. What did Trump say when they come into America? They see DC. That's your gate. What is it all built up? It's being fortified. Why? Because they're afraid of a check move, checkmate, right? But it tells you in these prophecies, it's going to be smitten with destruction. America, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles, shot off by the Allies, which became enemies, the European Union, NATO nations, and the BRIC nations, and even these UN nations. They're going to shoot missiles onto America from all angles, from all over the different sides of the earth. Go ahead.
On. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 13, when thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be as the shaking of an olive tree, and as the gleaning grape when the vintage is done.
Right. But when you get olives, what they did was shake the tree and they would just fall down and get them. You see? And it says the Lord's going to pretty much use only a few that didn't fall, but at the very top. You see? So that's what he's doing. The Lord's causing controversy, right? Shaking these dry bones so that they could be intrigued and say, what's going on? Right? These are biblical things. Let me go see if I can find. But see, most people ain't doing that. Most Israelites ain't doing that. They're looking for jobs. They're looking for apartments they can afford. They're looking for a girlfriend or a boyfriend. They're looking for fun. They're not looking for answers like they should be. Because really, when you look up the psychology of war, it's supposed to trigger you to think of God. When you see people dying, you're supposed to think of your own life. Damn, I could die. My loved ones could die. And that's supposed to make you think about God. I should get closer to God. Who is God? What's his name? What's his son's name? As it is written, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. But see, Jake ain't doing that because their conscience is seared with a hot iron. They're possessed with this demon or this demon that all they worry about. See? And America, they put out all kinds of stumbling blocks like this P. Diddy case, right? That was nothing but a stumbling block to put Jake on watch of that instead of looking into the truth. That's all that is. Go ahead.
Con. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 14, they shall lift up their voice, they shall sing for the majesty of the Lord Yahweh, they shall cry aloud from the sea.
From America. This is that sea that in Revelation 18, the angel throws a great millstone into the sea, saying, thus with violence, that great city, Babylon, should be thrown down. We're in the midst of this bitch, prophesying. And Jeremiah is prophesying of us. I'm sorry, Isaiah is prophesying of us, which Jeremiah also did, Ezekiel did, King David did, King Solomon did, Yahweh Shai did. He prophesied of the elect in these last days, remembering ourselves and glorifying Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, exalting these names. But
Con. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 15, wherefore glorify ye the Lord Yahweh in the fires, even the name of the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, in the isles of the sea.
right? Now, literal sea, talking about these different places, we don't have to get on a plane to go visit every island. There's internet, unicorn. See, so we're just putting it out. And in an instant, right now, it's live, so it's going to all the different islands, all the different continents, all the different places, whether it's day or night, you're able to see us live. And we're telling you about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Now, if you're an Israelite ordained to believe, you're going to believe. But if you're a heathen, you're not going to believe. And if you're a 2/3 here in America, you're not going to believe. All right? Go ahead.
Con. Isaiah chapter 24, verse 16, from the uttermost part of the earth have we heard songs, even glory to the righteous. But I said, my leanness, my leanness. Woe unto me, the treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously, yea. the treacherous dealer have dealt very treacherously.
Right? Which is these other nations, starting with Edom. They have dealt treacherously with us, and they haven't been dealt treacherously with. Right? Jake was trying to help him. Jake is still trying to fight for him. See? But it tells you in Isaiah 33 or 31. Let me see. 33. It says, "Woe to thee that spoileth, and thou was not spoiled, and dealeth treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. O Yahweh, be gracious unto us. We have waited for thee. Be thou their arm every morning, our salvation also in the time of trouble." See? So Esau is about to be spoiled. And that's what he's panicking. That's why he's fortifying his capital. And he's calling in all these troops. And also, he's making a military strategy. He's moving with military strategy with the mind of annihilation. Him cutting all these resources is so that you, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian, don't have resources to fight him. That's literally what he's doing. That's why he's putting poison in the food. He's causing it hard to pay your bill, but then he's raising the prices. Mm-hmm. He's doing all this as guerrilla warfare under deception, right? He's making it hard for you just to live. So how the fuck are you gonna fight him? Mm-hmm. See, in Afghanistan, they left those weapons on purpose because they could have blew them up and dismantled them, and they would have been good to nobody. But they didn't do that because those are their soldiers. They armed them. Just like they armed the cartel, just like they put guns in Chicago or LA or New York, all right, or Colorado or wherever. The number one criminal is the Edomite. And this one, I seen this one post, they said, you want to stop the crime in DC, you got to shut the Congress down. Shut the president down. Literally, the government of America is the corruption of the world. Right. You see, they're the drug dealers. Where did they find cocaine in, though? Damn near in the Oval Office. Mm-hmm. You see? And remember, they had reporters report that they, when they track the money, it goes back to the White House. These wars, they go to these wars. This is nothing more than a war machine to build to get money. Mm-hmm. Like they said right now, Trump in his presidency already made like $34 billion mm-hmm. in just being president for this short period of time. Mm-hmm. See, and he said when he was younger, if I go broke, I'm gonna become president because it's a blank check. Right. See, and he's doing the bidding of the elite for a check, so he's really a nobody. There's higher ups that he's taking orders from. All right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say about rich people. They're causing a lot of people that own homes, to lose their homes because they're going to come in and pick them up for a little bit of the little chump change that was going to be required of it. Because you lose your home, you ain't going to buy another one. Because
right, and it's really the elite mm-hmm. that's doing it. Mm-hmm. The elite of the so-called white race. They're the ones that's controlling everything. That's why you got all these different presidents from these other countries coming in and shaking hands with the king of Babylon. Right? China. Trump didn't go visit the Chinese president. The Chinese president came to Trump. Mm-hmm. Trump didn't go visit Putin. Putin came to Trump and shook his hand in his land. So that shows you America, they're the ones that are ruling the world. And they take answers from a higher up, which they even tell you these small hats are the ones that are going to pull them into World War III.
This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 17. Fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth. And it shall come to pass that he who flee from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare, for the windows from on high are open, and the foundation of the earth do shake.
Right, which that snare is that microchip. All right, they're gonna push the microchip on you, and pretty much after that, the nuclear destruction of America. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 24, verse 19. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean, dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgressions thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again.
Which is America. It's gonna be a desert. Go ahead.
And this is Isaiah 24, verse 21. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth.
Right. So this is a judgment upon these heathen, upon these proud. All right. Now let's go to that Wisdom of Solomon 5.
Solomon 5.
All right.
Okay.
What we're to do is not to humble ourselves to the mighty hand of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. All right? Because really, the Lord's going to put down all the pride. All right? The pride of these Edomites, the pride of the other nations, and pride of Jake. They don't want to do what the Lord says. They want to do what they want to do. They're being self-willed. That's the way of Satan. Do as thou wilt is what Satan, right, is pretty much pushing. Look up Aleister Crowley, which when you put that man's face next to fucking Joe Rogan, they look spitting image. So he could be that man reincarnated. And he's still doing the witchcraft he's doing. You know, because really Joe Rogan's a witch, a warlock. He deceives you. They look at that show he does, that podcast or YouTube channel as going to church. I heard an Edomite tell me that. And he was he was a rich Edomite, not a so-called wealthy, but he was rich. And he said he thought going to Joe Rogan and listening to him was like going to church. You know, so that could be Aleister Crowley, you know, doing that same shit of deception that he was doing. Go ahead.
Con, the wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors.
See, so what are we doing? We're standing boldly. Boldly, what mean in the faith? We mean you search these scriptures out and you know exactly what it's saying, so then you can't be persuaded. You're bold in that. If you actually know, like a sportsman, right? A boxer like Mayweather, he's going to be more bold in his skill than a man that's just barely coming in, right? Yeah. Like Rocky, when he was first coming into that first fight, right? He was just a bone crusher for the mob. He was all shaky and all this shit. He wasn't bold. But Mayweather's bold, where he's able to do it kind of flashy doing it, because he's done so much. Even basketball players, they get like this. Football players, Ray Lewis, he said, all I do is study, so I can put myself in the right position at the right time. That's what Ray Lewis said. He said, I ain't the best, I ain't the fastest, I ain't the strongest, I ain't the best with the press, right? And that's what the scriptures say. The race ain't given to the strongest, to the fastest, to the smartest, to the richest. It's given to them that are willing to endure until the end in faithfulness. Go ahead.
On. Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all that they looked for.
Right, they're looking for this guy to come back. Right, they're looking for this image.
Mhm.
They don't expect Yahweh Shai,
Mhm.
right? Even though we tell them that they've been brainwashed by the Roman Catholic Church, by the TV, right? It's called movie magic when they were making all these so-called superheroes, so-called white, like Superman, and doing trick photography to make him fly in 1950s, 1960s, right? Made the world deceive into believing that this so-called white man was so great. You see? Go ahead.
There's a lot of propaganda
Yeah.
because you see when you watch these new movies they come out, very rarely are they going to bring out a Jake like a superhero.
And put him in a position of power, right?
They put Superman. What color is he?
Right.
Yeah. And they do that all the time, and it goes through your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and you eventually you just that's where you're stuck at,
And that's what we have to overcome, which is a stumbling block, and we overcome it by the scripture, by the word, by the Holy Spirit, which rest upon these words. Because when we go into these scriptures, it tells us exactly what Yahweh Shai looks like. This is why we bring out this image. This illustration, all right, depicts what the scriptures are speaking, and it says that he is a so-called black man. And here's the scripture for it. And you can look that up yourself. All right? We were given everything we need. His grace is sufficient. His grace is sufficient. His grace is sufficient. He gave us everything we need by the Holy Spirit. In the name of Yahweh, through His Son Yahweh Shai, we got everything we need. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach.
Right? Which, that's why they're going to be in the lake of fire. These 2/3 is instead of listening to us, instead of cleaving to us, they were talking shit, thinking shit against us, thinking against His word. When it's right there, you could go along with us. You could Google these things for yourself and do the research and be edified. But instead, you want to believe in traditions of men and ignore the truth. And that's why when you're in the lake of fire, it says in Proverbs 5, you're going to say, why didn't I listen to my teachers? Oh, I was so close. You were right there. But you didn't believe. That was the problem. Why? Because you're filling your mind with the worldly shit. You're asking psychologists. You're asking all these different sources that are false for what is going on. What should you do? Instead of returning to the Lord. And that happened in Israel. And the Lord was pissed off. He was mad that they were prepping. Because they were prepping to fight the king of Babylon when the Lord established the king of Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
They should have just surrendered. See, but us, we're told to stand up, and we have a proverb to speak to the king of Babylon in this generation and said, who has made this golden city cease? Why is it shutting down? Why are you fortifying the castle? Why are you going digital? Because Yahweh Shai is coming back.
Khan.
Yeah.
This is the book Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 4. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 5. How is he numbered among the children of power, and his lot is among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us.
Right, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Because the Lord's going to show that he loved us and not you. Revelation 3:9, it says, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which is actually talking about the Israelites. We used it against the Edomites, which say they are a Jew and are not. But this was originally speaking of the Israelites. that were not obedient to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, he was saying they were the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. See? So the Lord is going to do this. He's going to avenge us. Really, all we got to do is remain faithful. He's going to cause it for where we overcome. We don't have to store up guns. We don't have to trust in the bow. We don't have to store up food and water, and then they throw us out of our house and eat our food and water. Mm-hmm. Right? We don't have to store up money, and then they say the money's no good. We don't have to go try to buy a bunch of gold and silver, and then they're saying, hey, you need a chip, right? Or anything else. We don't need anything else. The Lord gave us his grace, and that is sufficient. All right? Go ahead.
It says, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 7, we worried ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord Yahweh, we have not known it. What? This is verse.
Which it's right here in the scriptures. To know his way is Yahweh Shai. Mm-hmm. Yahweh Shai is the way. But where do you read about Yahweh Shai? In the Holy Scriptures. He comes in the volume of the book. The volume of the book. He's with us spiritually. He will literally be here, which he's going to come from heaven with the host of heaven. But he's with us in this word by spirit. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 8. What hath pride profited us? Or what good hath riches with our vaulting brought us?
Right, because you know how Jake, they get rich and they get proud. Mm-hmm. Right? So what has it done for you? Like that one, he does Millionaire Breakfast Club or something like that. The whole fucking 30 minutes of the show, he's bragging about himself buying a car. And he's calling people dusty. You're a dusty motherfucker because you're the poor one. Mm-hmm. Where you think that just because you got some money that you could spend right now, that ain't going to save you from the nuclear destruction. Well, who's going to save you from the troops? Mm-hmm. All that money you're spending, you're not even doing what you should be doing and preparing you. That's why Jake are homeborn slaves right now. All they know how to do is get a job and go to work. Once the job ends, there's no more groceries. Jake is going to fucking lose it, man. And then it's going to become Esau's problem. See, we're in Jacob's trouble, but it's going to turn into Esau's trouble. Because you're going to have a bunch of fucking Jake running out here that's stronger than you, and they're going to want your bread. Like that movie Life.
Yeah.
I want your cornbread. Right? And if you don't want to give it to him, what's he going to do? Take it from you. That's what's prophesied. When this shit shuts down, the pecking order goes into play. Prison rules. The bigger takes it from the smaller, the weaker.
Survival of the fittest.
That's what's going to happen. But see, the strength is with us. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai strengthens us. And there's many stories of our forefathers overcoming, like David fighting Goliath. Mm-hmm. Right? That was our forefather. Our forefather Jacob. He wrestled an angel to the point where the angel said, let me go. Right? That's our forefather. So Esau, he can't even wrestle fucking hunger. He can't even wait for the meat to cook. See? So he's weak. And that's why he's going to go for the sword right away. What's next? They just told the National Guard to start carrying weapons. Mm-hmm. They just told the people it's no longer illegal to open carry rifles in the city. You're about to have a bloodbath. Watch the movie Civil War. That Civil War movie, they showed the Washington, D.C. fortified, and the president in there looked just like Trump. And they said, give us a statement real quick. Don't shoot me or don't kill me or something like that. And they showed no mercy.
And I said, what kind of American are you?
Yeah.
Don't tell him you're Chinese.
Yeah, he said Hong Kong. He said, oh, China, bam. That's what's about to happen. But what were they doing over there? Burying bodies of what? So-called immigrants.
Yeah.
What's happening right now? There's a war on so-called immigrants. And they're hiring these gun-ho fucking weirdo Edomites to come hunt your ass. And you just had that one, I always bring it up, where he went to that council meeting and told them, how are you going to stop me from torturing you when that's my pleasure? And they're paying me to do it. And he said, are you going to give me more money? What's going to stop me from taking that and doing what I want with you?
Right.
You see?
So
So
everything.
you're in a time of trouble like no other right now. And Jake, they're still going about their day like nothing's happening. Like it was 1999. Right? Or 2019. It ain't. We're in perilous times right now. You could go to the store and never come home again. End up human trafficked, hung off a tree, or deported to a whole freaking Sudan in a container truck. You know what I'm saying? Lost in the desert, right? Soon they're going to start drafting. And just like in Ukraine, what were they doing? Kidnapping men to throw them in the war. This is what we're about to see. There's going to be a lack of men. And a lot of women are going to die.
Mm-hmm. They're going after the women in these vans, you know.
Oh, yeah, ice cream trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's women getting snatched up looking for jobs on these job platforms, like Indeed. Here in Colorado, I saw a lady, she reported it. She got human trafficked. She went for a job, went into the place, she never left. She finally got free, and she was telling all kinds of people. Don't you know? Oh, another one is they're calling teenagers on their phones and saying, hey, your mom and dad told me you're looking for a job. I'll come get you if you want to go to work for me. And the teenager kid, happy to go to work, goes with this person, never to come back again. Right? So fuck a job, really.
Yeah.
You're in a time of survival right now. All right? Yeah. And really, the Lord's going to take care of us. All right? Worry about the kingdom of heaven, and the Lord will bless your bread.
Seek the Lord, you know. You're not seeking the Lord, you're done.
Yeah, that's more important, is to seek the Lord. Good.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 9. All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by, and as a ship that passeth over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the pathway of the keel in the waves. Or as when a bird hath flown through the air, there is no token of her way to be found.
Pretty much nothing will remain in the history. Right? Like a bird, you don't see where the bird flew in the sky. Right? Or a ship where it goes through the water, it may leave a trail, but then it closes up. So that's what's going to happen. These people, everything they've done, Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, all these people, it ain't going to be remembered.
To be found, but the light air being beaten with the stroke of her wings and parted with the violent noise and motion of them is passed through, and therein afterwards no sign where she went is to be found.
Right, I mean, no evidence. America is going to be a desert. So everything you're wasting your time in, it's worthless. It's vanity. Say you go get a job right now that's going to give you $1 million a year. You go get your house. You go get your couple cars. You get into some debt. But guess what? You don't even know if we're going to make it out of this year without being in what they call a civil war or a class war. You don't know if there's going to be grocery stores to fill your fridge soon. If the food's going to be safe that you put in your fridge, it might have nuclear waste. Right? They say that at Walmart. The candy at all these stores, they're saying is polluted with salmonella
Mm-hmm.
See? So all these things that everybody's working for is vanity. It's vanity. Your cars, they're going to make it illegal. They want you in a battery car.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Obama when he took all the clunkers off the road, it happened fast. You don't see old cars no more because Obama, they put out this stimulus check to where you're able to get a new car, get a loan easier to get a newer car.
Uh-huh.
They're doing the same thing with these Teslas. I seen it.
Mm-hmm.
A woman was defending herself buying one,
Mm-hmm.
and she said this was the best deal I could have got because they're actually weaponizing them against you. These people burn up in them.
Yeah.
They lock when they crash, and then you die in a fire they can't put out. And they're weapons, really. They're weapons of mass destruction.
Come on.
A Trojan horse, though, right? Remember the Trojan horse
Uh-huh.
with the Valley of Soldiers?
Yeah.
Well, that Trojan horse, remember, they could take over that and use it like a weapon, like a bullet at a massive size.
They can be hacked.
Yeah, those cars are heavy too.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when they hit these rails, they go right over the rail because it's heavier than what that rail was created for. Because it has all those batteries in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then they're fast. They hit like 100 miles an hour.
They malfunction or something.
Yeah, I seen one, a Mustang. The freaking it was an electric Ford Mustang, and it took over and was just banging itself against the wall, the medium.
Mm-hmm.
And they drive up next to him because they're on the other side of the wall with the camera,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like this, like that, praying. And I was thinking, I was like, hey, that's why you got to put up prayers every time you wake up and you leave the house.
Uh-huh.
Because you don't know. You might be driving down the road in someone else's car. They got one of these fucking electric cars and they fucking go crazy. I mean, you know, the elect don't have to worry about none of this shit. But this is what we're doing, you know, is preparing ourselves to meet these terrible things. And we do it with the faith of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that we're going to overcome it. You know, no matter what comes our way. But these things are happening right now in our time. Oh, that one. Oh, I don't have I'm recording on it. But I got this channel in that Full Spectrum Survival.
Mm-hmm.
He pretty much said it. He said, you don't know what will happen. Right? The weather, the earthquakes, the volcano eruptions, the murder rate, people stealing to try to get by, the immigration thing. He said, there's so many things happening. You don't know what's going to happen to you when you leave your house. You know? It's only a matter of time till you come across it or it comes across you. A shooting, a mass shooting. These mass shootings are happening every day.
Mm-hmm.
In all different places. Hospitals, colleges, right? Military bases, grocery stores, right? Or this food. Once again, this food is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You could eat something and have fucking nuclear radiation on it.
Yep.
Because they washed it in the runoff water of a nuclear plant. Or watered it with the nuclear waste. Intentionally. Intentionally. It ain't something that they do on accident. No, it's an intentional thing. And that's why these people, the guy that was reporting it, one of these survivalists, he was like, I can't understand how it happened. It's not natural. And the only answer is they're trying to murder you. And this guy in his fucking head is over here trying to justify it. Was it an accident? Oh, was it this? Was it that? It's murder. It's an intentional, premeditated murder. And that's the darkness you're in. You're trying to justify your own murderer. Oh, is he having a bad day? Oh, was this something I did? That's what these people are doing. They're losing their jobs and they're like, oh shit, I gotta upgrade myself. You know what I mean? That was the funniest thing I heard lately. This lady lost her job and she said, I gotta make myself better.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are you talking about? They're unemploying everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you're self-improving, which is another false religion. Self-improvement doesn't exist. It's the Lord that if he's with you, he'll increase you in health. If he ain't with you, you're going to be sick. You're going to be fucked up.
I think about that story about that farmer. He has a lot everything he wants,
Yeah,
you
the
know.
rich man. Yeah.
And he says, "Oh man, I'm gonna build me another barn," you know.
For more stuff. Now he dies because the Lord required his soul.
Yeah.
That's the way of these people.
Uh,
They're not in reality.
mhm. Yeah. They don't know. They're ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
This is the wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 12. Or like as when an arrow is shot at a mark, it parteth the air, which immediately cometh together again, so that a man cannot know where it went through.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, we, in like manner, as soon as we were born, began to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue and shoe,
To show.
and virtue of shoe,
No.
to shoe.
Sign of virtue to show.
Oh, no sign of virtue to shew, but were consumed in our own wickedness.
Right? They're gonna die in their sin.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're gonna be like, they're gonna know that the Lord was doing it to them, and they're gonna remember there was a prophet. All right, amongst them. See, and that's why Proverbs 5 once again says, you're gonna be in that lake of fire saying, why didn't I listen to my teachers?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't I hear those that instructed me?
Yeah, and they're gonna know that there was a prophet among them.
Yeah.
And they didn't listen.
Right.
For this is the wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 14. For the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with a tempest, and passeth away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day.
Right. Nobody remembers the guy that spent the night in a town, in a whole town,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that's how this place is going to be, and all the people in it. Nobody's going to remember you or what you did in it. What's going to be remembered is what the prophets did in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And it tells you that we're going to be remembered for standing so stiffly for the Lord. See, but the rest of the Israelites, these two thirds, they're going to be known for willfully going against the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to know it.
You reject the Lord's
Mhm.
word, you know.
Yeah, his word.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 15. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord power, and the care of them is with the Most High.
Right. So the Lord, the first Lord is talking about Yahushai. Because in Revelation 22, it says our reward is with him, that, and he's coming quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Most High is pertaining to Yahweh. Yahweh is the Most High. And then when you see the lowercase L-O-R-D,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be Yahushai. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 16. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord power's hand, for with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. He shall
Did
put.
you hear that? What's he going to do with them? Go ahead. Read that again.
Says, he shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies.
Right. So he's going to use the creature, spirits of vengeance, teeth of wild beasts, fire, hail, all these different things, including the elect of Israel, but she's going to make us as a battle axe. It tells you here, it says in Jeremiah 51 and 18, they are vanity, the work of heirs. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, meaning the elect, they created everything with Yahushai. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance, and Yahweh of hosts is his name. So we're going to inherit everything because he's going to inherit us. Through Yahweh Shai are we adopted. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. See? So he's going to use us as even a weapon against the wicked when he gives us that raised standard, which he tells you we'll be able to shoot light out of our eyes, out of our mouth, out of our hands, which it'll come out like a laser beam, like lightning. Like, what's his name? Black Adam? Right? He fucking grabs that dude. Lightning just comes out of him. That dude's like, ah! He turns into ash. The other one, bam! Just, the Lord's going to do miraculous things with some normal men of Israel. He's going to quicken them by his Holy Spirit, which he's preparing them. See? Because really, what's going to stand is this word. They're going to come in like a flood, and the Lord's going to raise the standard. Now, there's a few of the elect that you're going to be able to put to death, which is going to condemn you and fulfill prophecy. But there's Israelite men that we're going to cause you to disappear, right? Or we may disappear and go into a different place. What is it? Teleport. Or we might just, they show you in that one movie, I can't remember what it was, but one of the brothers put it on, these movies where they showing the truth, and pretty much the dude just made a shadow where that dude was, and that guy was gone. He didn't exist no more.
That's like the one nuclear they sent over there, atomic bombs to Japan, and when it shot off the light, they had a picture of a woman.
Yeah, the shadow.
Yeah,
but the person didn't exist no more. They were metabolized. They're dissolved into elements, the lowest elements. That's what happens. They burn up into dust and smoke, evaporated.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 18. He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate and true judgment instead of an helmet. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. His severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise.
Against the unwise, which are the ones that don't believe. Which even Esau, who is he fighting? He's going against Israel. But why? Because they're unwise. They're going to be destroyed for the lack of knowledge, our people. We have the knowledge, but they don't want to receive it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want nothing to do with it because we don't got money. We don't have fame. We don't have these things that they're looking for. See? But we have everything else. We have eternal life. We have the ability to heal with the elements of the earth, or even prayer. But see, they don't want that. We have the power to eat when there's famine. But they don't want that. They're going to sell out so they can go buy some contaminated food.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 21. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds as from a well-drawn bow shall they fly to the mark. And hailstone full of wrath shall be cast as out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the flood shall cruelly drown them.
Because there's going to be a nuclear destruction at the same time of our salvation, and the earth is going to shake, and it's going to cause tsunamis. And so even these heathen that go into the other sides of the earth, they're going to suffer this earthquake also. Right? Even though they're not going to be destroyed with fire, there's a different form of death coming for them. Really, the earth is going to be only a few people left. And then the elect also, which come down, and we're going to start the earth over, start to have children, and have the heathen as our slaves. And we're going to breed them. We're going to choose which ones breed and which ones don't. You know how we got to go get a license for marriage? You got to ask for permission of who you can marry, at what time you can marry, at what age you can marry. Well, they're going to be controlled by us. We're going to decide which one are allowed to breed. right? And how many they're allowed to breed. We're going to control all aspects of our slave's life. All right?
They're going to be righteous.
Let me grab this real quick because this is pertaining to the elect. So it says in verse 42, 2nd Ezra 2, verse 42, I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Sion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. So this is the Israelites that are saved. We're praising the Lord at our salvation. We've been praising the Lord every day, and we're going to be with him at the top. And in the midst of them, there was a young man, of a high stature, taller than all the rest. So Yahushua is going to be taller than all the Israelites. He's going to be the tallest Israelite. And upon every one of their heads, he set crowns on the elect, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. Which we're going to exalt him as he exalts us. You see, just like Yahushua, he magnified the Father in being glorified. So that's what's going to happen to us. We're going to be glorified, and we're going to exalt the name of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua. We're going to be crowned with life, and we're going to exalt Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua. It says, and in the midst of them, which I got that, verse 44, it says, so I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that put off the mortal clothing, so stop living to the way of a man in this world, and put on immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. Now are they crowned and receive palms. And really what it means is we don't need this society. We don't need this system. We're pretty much trusting on the Lord to provide for us. We trust that the Lord has provided for us, which is called faith. All right? And we hope in an expected end, which he promised us, which is salvation, which what we read it earlier. They're going to witness it. They're going to be like, I never thought it was going to be true. Right? But we're going to be those winners, just like with Willy Wonka, the golden ticket. You know how everybody was searching out the golden ticket? That's how they're going to search for us and not find us. It tells you that there will be a famine of the word, and all these people that watch our videos and took it in vanity, you're going to look for us like in that movie, how they look for the golden ticket and not find us. All right? But there's an elect group of males and females that are going to be saved of the nation of Israel. And it starts with the 144,000 elect men, which are prophets. All right? So it says, verse 46, Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the son of Yahweh, Yahushai, whom they have confessed in the world. This is Yahushai, as it is written in the Holy Scriptures. Then began I greatly to command them, and stood so stiffly, them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. And what does that mean? Against temptation. They're going to try to tempt us into taking the implantable microchip, but the Lord's going to keep us from that hour of temptation. Revelation 3:10. Verse 48, Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord our power thou hast seen, which we got the writings, right? And we read them today.
Right. Fine. It says, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 23, Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty.
Right. Which these ill dealings is how they got their powers through deceit. All right. And the mighty is all these people of power. The Lord's about to put them down in their pride. All right. Let's see. What does it say? Pride cometh before the fall.
Right.
You know, pride cometh before destruction. Let's see. See, Psalms 10 and 2. The wicked in his pride does persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the device that they have imagined, which is what? Nuclear destruction. See? Because they did what? They got their riches through wickedness, through ill transactions.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to receive what they deserve. You got one?
I'm going to get this one. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4, in the ESV, it reads, even as he chose us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and blameless before him. In love, he predestinated us for adoption to himself as sons through Yahushua HaMashiach, according to the purpose of his will.
Of his will, for salvation. That's what his purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he preparing us for salvation. The other Israelites, he's preparing here in America for destruction.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there's this one that tells you that he's making the men of Babylon, the mighty men of Babylon, like women. You know?
Yeah.
That's what's happening too. He's going to take the courage of these mighty men.
Yeah. Okay.
But we're going to have courage. We have boldness being out here now,
Mm-hmm.
in the time we're in. Where did you find
Here, I got one here.
Right.
Psalms chapter 37, we'll start at ESV, verse 1, says, of David, fret not yourself because of evildoers, be not envious of wrongdoers, for they will soon fade like the grass and wither like the green herb. Trust in the Lord's power and do good, dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord's power, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord's power. Trust in him, and he will act.
You will act. He'll act in your benefit because it's his benefit in saving you. Literally, that's what it is. He said he will save you as a son that serveth him. That's Malachi 3.
Got another one here. Good. This is Revelation chapter 21, verse 8. ESV reads, but as for the cowardly, the faithless, the detestable, as for murderers, the sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their portion will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death.
Which is America's destruction. It tells you in Isaiah 19 and 16, in that day shall Egypt, which is another name for America, be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh of hosts, which he shaketh over it. Which there's a controversy going on right now. Even Netanyahu had to say, man, we got to do something about these stories going around the earth about us. Because we're telling you the truth. And they built this whole system on lies.
Mm-hmm.
And they got their gains through the sword, through murder, through thieving. It says the thief comes to steal and to kill and to take whatever he wants. But the Lord came to give us more life and abundance. See, talking about immortal life, an abundance of wealth, an abundance of righteousness, abundance of all your desires. It says that. An unlimited amount of pleasure is there at the right hand of the Lord. And the greatest part, it's not going to be in wickedness where you got to worry about diseases because this woman slept with another man before you, or you got to worry about corruption coming into your wealth or into your house and robbing you, because everything's going to be right. We're going to be righteous. That's the best part, is we're going to have all this in righteousness. We're not even going to get old. Like these elite now, they're fucking dying. They're wearing $100,000 suit, dying in that suit, decaying in that fucking suit. Got to wear diapers because they're shitting on themselves in those suits. Sitting in $1 million car. But us, when we get our wealth and our eternal life, we're going to be healthy, perfect health. Perfect. And it's going to be like that forever and ever and ever. We'll never get old. We'll never get sick. We'll never die. See? So we have something much more better coming than fucking hope that we get a job here, that we're hoping to be able to so-called prosper here in America. Fuck this place. All right? And that's why we always say Bob the Ball. All right?
I got one. Revelation chapter 14, verse 11, ESV. And the smoke of their torment goes up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night. These worshippers of the beast and its image, and whoever receives the mark of its name.
Which they show you in that movie, the two movies we were talking about, with that woman that got the chip, and the guy implanted, and the other one, I believe it's called chip. But either way, they weren't allowed to rest when they got that chip. So that's what it means. They're not going to be able to rest day nor night. They're going to have blisters all over them. And then their destruction is going to burn for a long time. America is going to burn for a long time, smoke for a long time, and then eventually just be a desert where desert creatures dwell. You see?
I think about Lazarus and the rich man. You know?
Yeah. But that's talking about when he says he wakes up in hell. It's not hell.
No.
It's talking about slavery. He had a vision of himself being enslaved under us, because this is hell. There's no such thing as a eternal place of burning.
Right.
That would make the Lord unjust.
Lake of fire is the only thing that's come close to it.
Yeah, and that even has a time, a limitation. It ain't gonna burn forever. Hell that burns forever is a false doctrine of Esau.
Yeah.
You know, which the Lord is just. He ain't gonna let you burn forever.
The Catholics brought that one out.
Yeah, to get your money. And that's the only reason why there is these false doctrines, for your fucking money, for your salvation, so they can take your life. That's all there is. They're like wolves hunting for you. All these false prophets, false doctrines, they're wanting to seek you out and destroy you. That's really what it is. Because if they loved you, they tell you the truth. And it's not hard. It's right here in the scripture. But you don't read the Bible. That's the problem. It says, blessed is the man that readeth and keepeth these words of this prophecy. Talking about the Israelite men.
And then the only one I can think of is trust. Who do you trust in? Do you trust in the money, Mammoth, or do you trust in our power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai?
Right? That's what it's going to prove it in these last days. You know, but you're supposed to examine yourself if you're in the faith. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Just like a football player, a boxer, what do they do before they go into a game? They go into a camp. They go get prepared for battle, right? And the Lord is going to teach our hands the war. Once again, we don't need weapons of war, right? Our bow is not going to save us. Our staff is not going to save us. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to save us. But you done?
Yeah.
All right. With that, we are the biblical Hebrew Israelites, and we give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule Great Millstone Wow, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Wa Abba Babal. Shalom to the elect.